If you're over 45 and you're planning to relocate abroad, you plan to work for someone, you don't plan to own your own business, you need to know this before you make that move. I would use Canada as an example, and I'll use Ontario, the largest province in Canada, as an example because it's where I know. The retirement age in a few other countries out there is 60. The retirement age in Canada, early retirement, is 65. Late retirement, you can stretch it to 70. For the purpose of this video, would use 65 as an early retirement. If you're 45 and you're going to retire at 65, it simply means you're going to work for 20 years. That's all you got. The minimum wage in Ontario today is $15 and some change. So let's be generous a little bit with the numbers and assume that you're here and your job is going to pay you $30 an hour, which is 100% above the minimum wage. $30 an hour is going to put you at $62,000 a year. The first time you receive your offer letter, you see $62,000 annually. You're going to jump up because you're new to the country, right? What you don't know though is that Canada is notorious when it comes to taxation. You're going to pay about 20% federal tax, about on the average. It ranges, but let's take 20% as the average because it ranges to up the way up to 33% for 2024. So we'll average it at 20%. Provincial tax is 10%. You're going to contribute towards your CPP, Canada Pension Plan. Save 5% of your salary of every paycheck. There are other deductions for your dental and life insurance, employment insurance, and all of that. Let's assume that by the time every deduction is done, your take home out of $62,000 a year is going to be $38,000 a year, thereabout. Now, the max you would have contributed towards your retirement plan is 5% of your pay. Let's say you have a generous employer. So you contribute 5% from your pay. Your employer gives you another 5% that you didn't work for. So you're contributing 10% to your retirement plan every year, from every paycheck, sorry. By the time you are done working for 20 years, you would have contributed $124,000 thereabout towards your retirement. It sounds like it's a lot of money, but think about it this way. $124,000, you were earning $62,000. So you've only successfully contributed your 2-year salary by the time you retire. The only thing you've been able to save is your 2-year salary. 62 and another 62. 124 grand. That's all you've been able to contribute. Now, your take home though, before your retirement had been 38,000. In other words, if you break that your savings into your take home, if you divide it by your 38,000, whatever you saved can only carry you for 3 years and 2 months. You are 65. You've retired. The only money you have will carry you for only 3 years and 2 months. Let's assume you're going to live up to 90. or you're going to live up to 100. What happens? What are you going to do? Don't forget, based on today's economy in Canada and Ontario particularly, with your 38,000 take home, it's going to be even challenging to afford rent. We're not even talking about purchasing a home. So even if you had purchased a home, you'll still be paying mortgage. How are you going to afford it? It's going to be challenging. So that boils to you having a very, very miserable old age. I'm sorry. That's the bitter truth.